Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
You're going to love this one, Karoline Leavitt. Just took Whoopi Goldberg to school live. Unfiltered and absolutely brutal it. Wasn't just a clapback, it was a full-blown roast, and Whoopi didn't even know how to respond. You could see the regret in her eyes, like, why did I even open my mouth? Trust me, this is Leavitt at her finest, sharp, fearless, and dropping truth bombs like it's her day job stick around because the meltdown that follows. Chef's kiss, let's get into it.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Time Whoopi Goldberg runs a view like a queen, be untouchable, unstoppable she. And sunny host 10 sharp tongues, no filter. Always ready for a fight even with Trump. But there's one name that throws them completely off their game, Karoline Leavitt. The 27-year-old White House press secretary has become their worst nightmare-dropping truth bombs that leave Whoopi and her crew scrambling for coverage, not just pushback, it's obliteration. And trust me, the way this all started, absolute gold. Let me break it down for you, Joy Bear the Views. Eternal backing vocalist kicked things off with a classic eye-roll take, claiming Karoline Leavitt's meteoric rise was all thanks to her looks. I think
she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
This is the first time that she's been she may be, but my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify.
Conservative woman succeeds, it has to be about appearance, right? And just when you thought the cringe levels couldn't get any higher, Whoopi swooped in confidently, declaring that Leavitt would be nothing without the guidance of voices like there's. Yes, you heard that right, Whoopi Goldberg, the same woman who can barely get through a sentence without tripping over her own contradictions, actually believes Leavitt owes her success to the View delusion table for two. But here's where it gets good, because Karoline didn't just respond, she torched them. So buckle up and watching this clip.
And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality.
No truer word spoken if you're searching for the living, breathing definition of out of touch with reality. Look no further than Whoopi Goldberg. Seriously, it's 2025 and this woman is still peddling the tired trope that a woman's success must be tied to her looks like. Hello, we left that nonsense back in the Stone Age. Whoopi isn't just throwing shade, she's clinging to the last threat of relevance, because when someone like Karoline Leavitt storms onto the scene with brains, backbone, and a resume that speaks for itself, people like Whoopi can't handle it. They don't see talent or hard work, they see a threat. But here's the kicker, Whoopi didn't just stop at the pretty face jab. Oh no, she doubled down, claiming Leavitt wouldn't be successful without the enlightened guidance of The View. Yes, Whoopi actually believes her panel of daytime divas is the secret sauce behind conservative women making moves. And if you thought that level of arrogance was peak Whoopi, just wait, because her next response is the moment she goes from out of touch to completely unhinged. Well, and MHM personally, this one really irritates me. It's one thing to challenge someone's ideas, that's fair game, but when you can't win the argument and decide to ditch the facts and go straight for personal jabs, that's just lazy. And surprise, surprise, Whoopi Goldberg took the low road, skipping past Lit's actual points and going straight for her speaking skills, because apparently when you've got nothing intelligent to say, mocking someone's delivery is the next best thing. Picture this Whoopi sitting there with that self-satisfied smirk, waving off Lit's argument like it didn't even deserve oxygen can she even get through a sentence without stumbling, she sneered, as if that somehow invalidated everything Leavitt had just said. But here's the part that Whoopi didn't see coming. Karoline Leavitt wasn't about to let that slide, and when she fired back, let's just say Whoopi immediately. 5. Spicy word from Leavitt, but let's be honest, it's nothing but the cold hard truth. How many of us haven't called for The View to be cancelled at this point? That show's been circling the drain for years, surviving off cheap outrage forced laughter and an audience that claps like clockwork every time Whoopi or Joy spits out another tired talking point. And let's not pretend the ladies at the table don't need serious help. They've dished out some of the most despicable comments ever aired on daytime TV stuff. So ridiculous it borders on self-parody. But here's the real kicker: they are not just drowning in bad press allegedly. They've got more lawsuits piling up than a Hollywood divorce lawyer in January. Yeah, it's that messy. So when Leavitt called them out, it wasn't just spicy, it was a reality check they've been dodging for way too long.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
When WB realized that mocking Leavitt speaking skills had backfired spectacularly, she did what every cornered pundit does: pretend to care about the argument itself. Fine, game on. Leavitt had already made his stance crystal clear. The days of White House press conferences drowning in woke buzzwords and performative outrage were over. Under her watch it was going to be common sense first, feelings last. Policies would be judged on logic, not how much they pandered to Twitter mobs. And guess what? That message hit hard, so hard it had Whoopi squirming in her seat. But did Whoopi take a moment to reflect? Of course not. Instead, she doubled down, ranting about how wokeness wasn't a problem, it was the reason Leavitt had her job in the first place. Yet Whoopi actually argued that Leavitt, a 27-year-old powerhouse with an ironclad resume, owed her success to the very ideology she was dismantling. Talk about irony. Whoopi didn't just miss the point, she launched it into orbit and watched it burn up on re-entry, and the look on her face when Leavitt fired back, chef's kiss. But we'll get to that. For now, let me show you another clip where Whoopi Goldberg and her live studio audience mocked Karoline Leavitt after she was rudely interrupted by a CNN journalist.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
7. Time that was so good, what Whoopi said next wasn't just ridiculous, it was downright bizarre. But honestly, who was surprised? This is a View after all. If you're tuning and expecting intellectual depth, you're watching the wrong soap opera. Poor old Whoopi Goldberg, after decades of hosting The View, producing her own movies and starring in more films than she probably remembers, you'd think she'd have picked up at least a shred of creativity in her banter, some sharp with a clever comeback, something to keep things interesting. But no, Whoopi just can't change same tired arguments, same sanctimonious head tilt, same world sighs like she's carrying the weight of humanity's ignorance on her shoulders. Except the only thing she's actually carrying is a stack of bad takes, and this one Hall of Fame worthy. She actually claimed that Lit's rejection of wokeness was dangerous, yes, dangerous for young women, because apparently encouraging independent thought and merit-based success is now a threat. It wasn't just hypocritical, it was peak Whoopi loud wrong and somehow proud of it. And you can probably guess what happened next. Leavitt didn't just clap back, she annihilated her. But before that, let's listen to what Whoopi said about Lit's response.